All right, hey there, Wade Sellers back with you. This is the final video for text fields, and we're going to talk about modifiers. Basically, how do you change the look and feel of text fields? And then at the end of this, I'm going to talk about the keyboard input modifier, and we'll get into the iPad. So if you've been following along, I just keep using the same app. I'm in Playgrounds on my MacBook, but you could also do this on your iPad, and you can just copy the code right here. There's two different ways that I've made text fields, two different initializers. One takes in a string, one is taking in a number, and that's where we're at. So let's just talk about modifiers. Now, they're really not that different, so this is a pretty simple video. Views can be modified. The look and feel of them and their functionality can be modified with modifiers, right? And we've used them before. We used them with text, right? Remember when we did like text, this string here, that number 5 on screen right now, if I do dot font, right? And I could do dot large title, for instance, and now the 5's bigger, right? So any view has access to all sorts of different modifiers. So let's just mess around with the text field and I'll show you a couple of them. So for instance, like this text field, actually let's use the string text field, okay? If I want to modify it, I just go under that line, that initializer, do a dot, you'll see it tabs in automatically, and let's do foreground color. So before I do it, actually, just so you can see, if I enter my name, it's white text, right? Well, foreground color will change that. So if I do dot and I do 4, and you'll see foreground color, and I want the one that's color for now. Notice that foreground color will be deprecated in a future version to foreground style. So again, we'll probably have an updated video on that. But for now, it's just so much easier to deal with this. So let's go foreground color. And we could do blue, we could do red, right? You can do all sorts of different colors. So now that I've done that, if I type it in, you'll see red text. Cool, it's that easy, right? What else can we do? We can make text fields bigger, right? Let's mess with the font. Let's do, how about large title again? Now look, enter your name is big, and the text I type into it as well is big, right? What else do I have? Okay, let me show you this one. This one is specific to text field. If I do text field, I'll see text field style. Sets the style for text views within this view. And there's a couple options. Dark mode's only going to show one really well, but you'll see text field style right there. And if I just do a dot, you'll see automatic, plain, and bordered. Automatic, the default text field style based on the text field's context, right? And then you have plain, a text field style with no decoration, and then you have rounded border, a text field style with a system-defined rounded border. Let's do the rounded border. Okay. I've done that, and now you'll see that you're going to start getting backgrounds, and you can start seeing the roundness. It's tough to see the roundness on this one, so let's add one more modifier. Let's give it some padding, which means it's going to put some inset of padding on the top, on the sides and top, all right? So I'll just do the padding modifier. And you can really get specific here, but you don't have to. You can just do that, and it'll just give you, I think, like 10 pixels of padding on both sides. So now you'll see that our text field is really starting to take shape here, right? It's starting to look different. You could do a different style font for your text, right? You can do all sorts of things. Even instead of like large title, I think if we do something like headline, you'll see that it'll adjust as well. Yep, so it kind of scrunches it down, it makes the letters a little closer. So these are your modifiers. Yeah, I'm gonna show you, actually no, let me show you one more. See how this frame is such a certain size? If I do frame, I can change it. When you try to do frame, there's all sorts of different values that you can change. Width and height are two handy ones. Width is a great one. If I hit the little down arrow on the autocomplete here, I'll open it up and I can see like frame width. So it just helps you stub your code out as you go, right? Your autocomplete. Positions this view within the invisible frame with a specified size. So let's do the width. Now we're at 100 and it gets all small. What if we go to 200? A little bigger, cool. What if we go to 300 or 400, right? It's back to kind of like where it was from the start. So again, this is just other things that you have access to when it comes to modifiers. And there's so many of them. So you can really just like play around. You can like Google SwiftUI view modifiers, and there's all sorts of articles out there that'll show you all sorts of cool things that you can do with these. Also, depending on where they're at, because this code is ran top down and it's making tweaks to that view as it goes, sometimes changing the order of these, you'll get an unexpected, or if you're expecting an expected action on the element itself, right? Now, one more I want to show you is something I have to actually pull out the iPad for, and that is the keyboard type. So, you know, like when you tap on a text field sometimes, and, you know, like text message, you open up text message and you'll see your keyboard. But then, you know, like sometimes in some apps, let's say you want to enter the email address, when you tap on it and the keyboard pops up on your phone, you know, like the @ symbol will be up front, so you don't have to go into the number screen to see the @ symbol. Well, that's different keyboard types. Or like if you have to like type in your PIN and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, right? That's the, you know, that's the decimal style keyboard type. Well, you can do that. So all you have to do when it comes to a text field to change the keyboard type is literally do a modifier, keyboard type, and you'll see it right there. Sets the keyboard type for this view, right? So if I do that, it's got a default that it starts with. If I tap at the dot, the period, you'll see the URL one. That'll get you the @ sign up front. The decimal pad, right? That's your numbers, your email address, name, phone pad. There's all sorts of different ones, and you can play around with it. Now, I'm on my Mac using Swift Playgrounds, and you'll notice that when I tap on the text field on the right there, no keyboard pops up, and that's because, you know, I have my keyboard here, and it knows that, so it keeps it all nice and clean. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually not put the keyboard type in right now, and I've got my iPad here. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll go like this. I will open up this playground on the iPad. Let me do a screen record here. Okay. All right, I've got my text fields here. Everything seems to be the same, so everything's updated. Cool. So let's go ahead and go to that text field, and you'll see right there, as soon as I go into the text field, oh, actually, I'm sorry. Let me tap on the text field in the actual app preview, and you'll see the regular keyboard, the default keyboard opens up, right? Cool. And like, just for instance, like notice there's no @ symbol, but it's inside of the number panel, the @ symbol's right there, right? So, okay. So let's change that. So in this code, and it's a little, you know, it's a little scrunched because I'm on the iPad here now, but, oh, did I actually add that value in there? What did I do there? Oh, I typed it in. Okay. So in this text field, under the frame, tap down, and let's do keyboard type. Okay, keyboard type is right there. I'm going to stub it out. And the default's there, so let's change it. Let's do email address. Okay, so now that's the keyboard type. So let's get rid of it, and I'm going to tap on the text field, and notice now you can see the @ symbol right there, right on the keyboard, right? What about the number pad? Let's try that. Let's do the number pad. Cool. Now let's tap on the text field. Hey, now you've got your number pad, right? So this is like what you can do. Like, this is your keyboard types that you can set up for your text fields. So, you know, this helps the user have a much more fluid experience. If they're expecting to put in a number, give them the number pad, right? If they're expected to put in an email address, give them the email address. And these are those little fine details that tighten up your app. It's very handy. So that's text fields in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed this series, from basic setup to using numbers to modifying them and even adjusting the keyboard that pops up when you look at them. That's text fields for you. Enjoy them, play around with them, especially all these modifiers, because you can make these things look really cool. And with that, I will see you in the next video series. All right, bye.